Well, I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still. The most part, the storm system is over with, and now we return back to our regularly scheduled winter for us here in eastern Carolina. Cold air is coming back in, and the nice tropical warm temperatures we had yesterday are quickly getting pushed off the coast. Gusty winds will be with us today. We'll see them slacken a little bit overnight tonight before they pick back up again with another shot of Arctic air coming our way through tomorrow. And by that point, it's clipper time for us here. We'll see some Alberta clippers coming over the next 7 days. And well, I got to figure one of them is going to give us our decent shot of some first snow here in eastern Carolina. So that's something we'll be tracking. Take a look at high temperatures yesterday. 78 in Washington, 76 in New Bern. Yeah, you knew it couldn't last. And, well, as a result of the clash of the air masses, the warm air colliding with the cold air, guess what? We had those strong gusty winds that came through the area early this morning. So as far as the wind gusts were concerned, we saw peak wind gusts in excess of 40 to 50 miles an hour. That's higher than normal tropical storm strength wind gusts here for us in eastern Carolina. And all that came from about late afternoon yesterday until about 5 o'clock this morning as this front was barreling on through. Look at Greenville, 54 mile an hour wind gust, the strongest one we've seen. Now, we did have some minor tree reports onto roadways and power lines. We had one there just around Jacksonville itself, another one coming in with a report in and around Kinston. This one here, some around Trenton, Jones County. So minor trees down. The biggest one I've seen so far into a house was over in Fairfield Harbor, so we'll continue to keep you updated on that as we go on through the next day or so here. But for us this afternoon, quickly clearing out as we go through 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock this morning. That's sunny and windy conditions around for the afternoon hours. If we recover into the mid-50s, we'll be lucky. Most of us are now down into the upper 40s, and with colder air coming in, don't really expect a bump as far as temperatures are concerned. Now, overnight tonight, weak little clipper number 1 comes to our north. Could potentially give us maybe a sprinkle or flurry north of Highway 64, but really very isolated. Most of it, if it does fall out of the clouds, will probably evaporate before it actually reaches the ground. We'll hold it above the freezing mark at the beaches. And then through the day tomorrow, warm? Yeah, right. So much for that. How about 30 degrees colder tomorrow than when we were yesterday? A low to mid-40s. That is going to do it for top temperatures. Again, we'll quickly clear things out after that clipper moves through in the morning hours here, but there was gusty northwesterly winds kicking back in, taking temperatures from the 40s, making it feel more like the 30s for tomorrow afternoon. All right, official daytime highs occurred right after midnight. Take a look at the temperature trace here. Notice at 11 o'clock out of Greenville, we were at 72, 70 at 1 a.m., so that's what officially goes in the book. But you can definitely tell when that front came through. Look at the difference between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., dropping almost 25 degrees, so that colder air has been kicking in, and we were definitely seeing that here in eastern Carolina. Now, we did have some reports all along with this system. Just in the last 24 hours, almost 200 wind damage reports. You can see the potential tornadoes there. One was a fatal tornado northwest of Atlanta. But for us here in eastern Carolina, kind of light sporadic reports of wind damage. Again, mainly trees down onto power poles and such forth. But this has definitely been a prolific wind-making system as it's made its way across the United States. Now that a low-pressure system itself is centered way up in Atlantic Canada, it's the difference between that low and the high pressure off the coast here that is creating those gusty winds. But you'll also notice, see that low sitting out there in Montana? That's our clipper system, and it's going to be directed right towards us as a result of the dip in the jet stream here. So that is what we're going to be watching, clipping along and coming our way for tonight going into tomorrow. Very moisture-starved, doesn't really have a lot going on with it. And part of the reason why is the Gulf of Mexico is now shut off. But you take a look at future track on the jet stream here. Here comes that clipper here. Remember, this week we had those lines coming right out of the Gulf of Mexico, bringing that warm, moist air in here, giving us anywhere between about half to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall with this system. And again, it was the winds that were mixed down from aloft that came down to the ground here. But we'll track this clipper as it comes on through. Notice by going into tonight, going into tomorrow morning, it quickly gets its way off the coast here. But we're going to watch another clipper coming down in this flow as we head on in through the day on Sunday. So take a look at future track here. Shows you that sharpening of the trough. The next clipper comes on through. This one may have a little bit more moisture to work with, but again, the Gulf of Mexico is not opened up here, so it is very moisture-starved. But we definitely got the colder air. The vortex is still on the eastern side of North America. So as a result, we expect to see chilly temperatures last through the weekend and then start to warm things back up as we head into early next week. So let's track that first clipper here for you. Again, the clouds and showers are quickly moving off the coast this morning. Gusty westerly winds will be with us for this afternoon. Now, notice how the hours get a little shorter, though. We'll see winds die down at least a little bit as we head overnight tonight. Then here comes our clipper along. You'll notice it's kind of mainly upslopes, light snow into the mountains of West Virginia, western North Carolina, Tennessee, and that kind of dries it out. So potentially could be a flurry or two north of Highway 64, but again, not really excited about it. Not even a whole lot of cloud cover, as Future Track is showing here. But notice our wind arrows switching direction here as that clipper comes by, gets off into the ocean, and kind of intensifies a little bit. But that will lead to some of those gusty northwesterly winds by the afternoon hours tomorrow after we get rid of some morning clouds. And then we will watch some high-level cirrus clouds start to stream back into our forecast as we go in through the day on Saturday. That will be ahead of our next clipper, which looks like it'll be in here late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Again, I am concerned, not necessarily saying we're going to have a big event from this, but it could be enough that we at least get some snow showers flying through the air late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, north of Highway 264. So that's one thing we want to alert you to. And then we continue with the cool air through the weekend before we briefly, again, warm things back up heading into early next week. But you'll notice from now through the end of February, it's definitely going to be colder, more so than it has been warm, like we saw December and January. Have yourself a good Thursday and stay warm. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.